out, Tiff, they just didn't have a lot of kills. And I don't know if they're playing timid or trying to play calculated, but regardless, whatever they did in first map, it didn't work.
It really didn't. And honestly, if you look back at how they felt when trying to secure themselves in that upper bracket, we'll talk about that because Team Huncho once again in a contested drop over here. Now with PD already looking at some angles, gets caught out from something, but A on the bottom looking for a flank. You've got to be weary. People are gonna get snaky here.
Yeah, and look, this team, Squad 9, won this fight last time, but they're not going to do it again by just bull rushing this team. I don't think they have the egos to say, we know we're better no matter the circumstances. It's about setting your team up for success. So as always, they're going to take their time. And as the wise sage once said from the North America region, he said, eventually the other team will scam. The big question is, how long will it take? So let's see if one of these teams scams their positions, or maybe there's just a full outplay on one of these pushes, but maybe a PA to cover their advances or cover their retreat might look like Quicker going to take the other side of this to loot back up. He's not comfortable with the loot he has, and the whole team is low, so they're going to relocate and readdress this fight from a different angle. I do think, Tiff, this fight's going to take a while unless maybe Control catches one out in rotation, as he is split by himself. He falls here, maybe it's the signal flare, but this fight might take a couple minutes.
I was worried about this, right? Control is here on fire. Now, with the 3 remaining members, hits the parachute and just falls. I'm not gonna say that was a whiff because I don't hear their comms and the thought process behind it. I think he thought PD obviously had the cross for him, and it just quite frankly did not come through.
Yeah, I'd love to hop around, as this team's gonna definitely dive out of here and probably get chased. Maybe see some other fights happening. Here comes Huncho to try to clean this up. I'm sure PD's just gonna run, and I don't know why he's looking back for that. You gotta run, my friend. You know you don't win a 1v3 and a 2v3 9 times out of 10. Able to drop 1, but it doesn't matter. The trades come through, no chance. Go to the gulag, rethink your lives, and it looks like a bit of revenge for Huncho's squad, and certainly needed after the way things went the first time around. We're gonna hop back to one of the top teams, Team 1. Again, everything's seeded, Tiff. So if you're the first team, that means you were top in the upper bracket.
It's very true. And when we kind of jump in here with this squad over in Suburbs, I was really curious if they would be starting to get into early engagements with that second seeded squad, Team Gramalok. They're nowhere to be found, and now we're contesting with some squads like HMU, the winners of map number 1 that are on the western side. And then you also have Team Starbrook, who had moments coming in through the lower round too. So what are this squad going to do?
Yeah, brutal fight when you've already got one down, especially against the stalwarts that are Pazuka and Co. I mean, these people have so much experience playing together that these team fights are another day in the park, whether it's pubs, customs, or otherwise. This is normal. This is easy for them, making it look easy, but Instinct caught out from the third party. Yeah, this is the difference between pubs and customs. Sure, you can get third party in pubs, but in customs, it's life or death. You've got to hit these third parties, and well, your last map winners about to enact some continued onslaught for one of the top teams and say, no, this is our lobby. We might be on near 100 ping, but it doesn't matter. Drops 1, now a 3v1. They've got to get a full team wipe here on the edge of zone. They cannot let this Pazuka team readdress, restabilizing it back into this fight. Make them go to the gulag, make them lose a bunch of resources, and there it is, a full team wipe. Our Falcons are flying at max speed.
They really are. There's a lot of teams that I'm worried about, in particular with where this circle has pulled to. Now, a lot of unplayable area north of Pop-Off Power and even Kotovo blocks are outside our radius, but included in the circle, which means we are going to the north. So all of our teams that have been down on this seaside, south side of Urzikstan, you're gonna run into an issue where you will be late. But an edge fight here is about to go down. Melvin, Fuzz, and Pentagon, this was their motto for that lower round 2, and they really like to clean up on that rotation. But can they do it here? Melvin looking for angles, a nice little jump spot here. Looking like a gargoyle wanting to enact some vengeance.
Yeah, swoop down. I don't know if he's quite made of stone very quick, but I like the reference for sure. This team, look, frankly, Enigma broke down their entire rotational strategy top to bottom on broadcast. So if this Maze team with Kibbies didn't expect this, they obviously weren't paying attention or didn't VOD review after lower bracket round 2. The dominant team, again, won lower bracket round 2, set up a pinch and hardly lose a plate for it. Very well executed. A nice start for this team. They might be the easiest kill in the lobby for some teams. Certainly not for that squad.
Lovely shot there. You can see the distance. I see some streaks going through in the north, which makes me a little weary of what's going on in Levin Resort. But for now, Lowtown, Blade Squad on the screen, hitting a rotation from out of zone. What are we going to do to get into there? Because you got Team Darzity on the next threat. If I'm them, I want to try to find Darzity out and swing the numbers in our favor.
Yeah, I don't love this push. It is so late. Both of these teams incredibly pushed out deep into Lowtown, having to make a fairly far rotation. Again, we talked a little bit about the map, a little bit about the zone, as all of a sudden, you know, I'm trying to break down strategy, but what's the most important thing is that yet again, tfue kill Jukies and Linen in an utter blender. Now I should get a buy off here. Gets one back, goes for FIFA. He's got the most cash, but holy cow, Tiff, this is so brutal to watch. And they're in Levin Resort. I mean, this isn't even, sure, a couple teams drop here and it's decent hotspot, but based on the zone, like, there's really not that many people. There's just this one team harrying them, and I think they lost this fight against Paxor, which is one of those kind of hot and cold teams. They had moments of greatness during lower bracket round 2, and then moments of honestly getting dumpstered. And so it's like, what Paxor will we see today? They're a strong team if everything's moving correctly, and apparently it was moving correctly against this Linen squad. Good grief.
It's tough to say because I want to sit there and I want them to qualify. I want them to do amazing, but everything that we've witnessed from them in the upper bracket says I don't think it's going to be enough to find themselves in the top 12 after this. And speaking of 12s, well, let's jump on with Team Too Strong here on the screen. No eliminations thus far, but in C-Town, one of those squads that's still going to have to work their way north. But you have to contend with HMood, the prior maps winner. And they were just firing on all cylinders and have been, quite frankly, looking very scary to contend with.
Yeah, and this is kind of that edge of Old Town looking back towards Cargo. Honestly, a fairly similar zone. It's just more further north pulling and likely will continue to pull north. So I'm expecting maybe kind of that open space between Cargo, Popov, Levin, that big wide open area like around these radio towers on the other side. I don't know, something to watch out for. We've seen a lot of circles in there, and it's all about playing the hills, or I think our Australian friends that were playing in Canada yesterday said creddy in the lips. So whatever that means, that's what I'm going to be playing for. Is they were creddy in the lips, meaning they were playing super ratty, playing the head glitches on the actual like overhang lips and hills that are in this area. And it looks like that map pulling pretty much exactly what I was talking about, right in that center between all these POIs. Who will be there first? And it looks like it's going to be Team 25 as Chow's in trouble.
I really love Team Zach's position. That's going to be 5. And even with King Shock working the outer edge of that open area, there's like a compound up there with a fence in the open, and you can gatekeep a lot of teams. So to move there early on says a lot about it. But for back in this bridge, this battle on the outskirts of Pop-Off Power, it's going to be strong to grab those eliminations. But for now, yeah, look, okay, so we're jumping in with the squad that we were talking about right here. Zach, aydan, and Hollow. This is tough.
Yeah, aydan, one of our only keyboard and mouse players competing across the stage of the tournament. There's a couple of them. A couple of them made the global finals yesterday, actually. Huskers Breadman. But aydan, super high stakes keyboard and mouse player, really a walking highlight reel. And unfortunately, that one might go the other way. Just goes for the PA. Yeah, goes for the PA, and here comes the full sin. This is so standard for Warzone competition. Team 21, you see them sprinting at this. This is that Melvin Fuzzin Pentagon team. They need these kills, and they know this team. Right when they get the knock, they say, we've got to sin. And unfortunately, they were just a hair too late. Look at this incredible rotation from Hollow and aydan. A tough kill on the map, and now it's a true 3v3. And frankly, I give the advantage to aydan and Zach and Co. They've set up a nice pinch. They have a couple different angles to hold, and I think Pentagon Fuzzin, they know it. They're holding in a building, and they're saying, woo, okay, almost had it, but not quite.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild that you're gassing them up on main, and then next thing you know, we just get pieced. But full regain has been maintained here, and now you can see Zach on the screen has the Kar 98, which will be great for this close range, trying to hold those angles. Or what were you saying? Creddying on the lips?
Yeah, creddy in the lips. You can go talk to our Australian friends, all right? Go talk to Levi, I think it was. But Zach, holy, how about Kar 98 through the window? Now let's see if maybe we can ape through the window and clean up this team before they can get the res. Better executed. No! Holo goes over aggressive, loses his life. Pentagon punishes him. This is a huge 3v3. Ace is going to sell it. Zach in trouble. A full team wipe. We thought they were going to do it, but Tiff, no. They get punished. 2v3 goes to the side of Melvin.
The breakdown is real, and Hallow has found himself in the gulag here. Circle 3, 35 teams still up. A lot of teams really wanting to make this work. Tachi on the other side. There goes the Semtex. No information found from it. So we're going to throw out that smoke and try to break it down. I'd imagine we're going to see that zip pop down here. It goes in well. Look at that.
Oh.
Not escape here. You cannot escape that. I love how many teams are so brazen about attempting to get out.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where it's actually a very fast zip. You can get up really quickly. It requires really good precision, and if there's smoke, it'll help. But in a true gunfight, if you get shot first, you usually lose. That's what happens there for Zach. Palooka back onto the map. But yeah, I think a lot of these teams risk it because it's like you got to smoke up. If they just don't track you for the first like half second, you usually can make. But great tracking there in the Gulag. Gulag about to close here in about another circle or so. A couple more lives to spare. This one certainly doesn't have them, though. All three, I believe, already been to the Gulag, which means it's Juki's and FIFA Kill back against the wall. An opportunity to yet again get eliminated early with little to no kills to their name. Talk about staying alive, folks. About 90 people still in this lobby. 34 out of 40 teams still up as our fourth circle is closing. This is about standard, but it doesn't feel that way. A lot of buildings on the edge of this zone. This isn't a city circle. This is a lot of people ratting it out, staying alive to try to gain some multipliers. You have so many teams you got to get through before any real multiplier comes into play.
And I really want this squad to keep things together, but they've been broken down yet again to a duo. You talked about a blender. It's a regain simulator. That has been the journey of World Series of Warzone for this trio. Things just have not been looking their way, and FIFA Kill on that stream, waiting to find out if they had done enough to advance on to finals. I'm talking playing some of the saddest music I've ever heard, waiting to find out if they dropped out. And you do not want to feel like that. So I'd imagine you would come in guns a-blazing here in the finals, but I'm just not seeing it yet.
Yeah, it's frankly, we haven't watched their early drop. I wonder if they're being contested, and maybe we'll check that out later. And who knows, maybe it's just bad gunfights. But at the end of the day, Crystal Shot's gonna try to prove some people correct. I know there's some people out there rooting for Crystal, thinking they have a chance to win it, and certainly could, especially with shots like that. Doomies dropping B, Groovy, making it look easy. Couple more teams in this area, though. This is the third, fourth, fifth party potential for a lot of squads, but this team, 2 out of 3 alive. Their third, cleaning up the rest of the Gulag, as it looks like they're going to break this team fully down and fully wipe them. Very well done from Crystal Shots and Co. I believe Krink's over there with the pulse check. This is his underhorse. All right, watch out for this squad, hunting the edge of zone. I love it.
I'm still advocating for underhorse merge, but you got Team 2 Strong on the opposing side, and a 3v2 occurring. Time is of the essence, though, and we're going to have to start on that maneuvering. Here we go with the smokes. Muni box down to really supply back up on those numbers, and we're looking for a wrap around, but straight into the open. We need to get to fire. Can we do it?
No way.
I don't know. We able to navigate around Team 2 Strong, but you have an uphill rotation where there's multiple squads regaining. Now, there's some things where I was talking about if Enkyo's squad could hit a rotation out into this next circle, I think they had enough to win. But I'm getting updates.
Look
that
at
it happened.
That bottom right-hand corner, quick replay of the Juki's team getting wiped, I believe, out of this lobby at about 30th. And on your screen, a team that was looking really strong, got a good rotation, also in trouble. Pele making some moves, maybe not on the soccer pitch, or rather football, pardon. My bad, EMEA. But getting some kills as well. King Benji trying to save the day.
Okay. Hit that res, get Crystal back up on their feet. Still very healthy lobby. We have 27 teams alive in Circle 4, which is very much on par with what we were seeing in the NA finals yesterday. It would be just above 20 teams alive. Now that Gulag has closed, though, our numbers about to dwindle.
Yeah, and I am getting worried that actually is a full wipe. We saw that one elimination in the picture in the bottom right-hand corner, and it was a full team wipe. So a full breakdown in the first third of this event, and not a lot of people expected this, but if history repeats itself and the way things have been going the last several stages of the competition, frankly, this isn't that surprising. I love FIFA Kill to Death. Talked to him yesterday. He said he wanted to give us a show and hoping for a late tourney run if you're a fan of the FIFA team, but we'll see. Back to the game at hand. This is that Team 25 I shouted out. They've been in zone for a very long time, and it looks like they're still getting eliminations along the way. Marcus on the other team, or other side rather, with Scuffology going down. Kill after kill and position. This team set up for success. Also, this team was in second, I believe, going into this lobby with a very strong map. One Tiff.
Yeah, this is huge, right? They've got control of Outpost here, and the squad that I was talking about, I was curious to see how Enkyo's squad would rotate out of Kotovo blocks and take the north. Well, they got broken down on their rotation. They hit a buyback, and you saw Enkyo fly back in, but this squad was able to destroy any chance of a regain. That just goes to show you, if you can get into this Outpost early on and maintain it, it's just tough because it's very open on all sides.
Well, War is the team that needed a massive map, still alive in the top 21, which frankly isn't that impressive comparatively. A lot of ground to make up, but these numbers are going to be dwindling aggressively in this next circle. 21 teams, fifth circle closing. Chow alive. You see Huncho over there, that team in yellow, a team you got to watch out for. And reminder, that's the team that got wiped early last map and had a bad map for it. This map, they won the early contest, and they're here now on the outside. Bubble holding Team Oki right on the edge of zone. If they overextend here, they're going to get ripped, and you're seeing that happen from Team 24 on their right-hand side.
I'm really curious to see if Wars can grab a knock onto Team Echo, because Bubbles used to play with Team Echo. Echo played with Bubble and Tomsterbaum in that World Series of Warzone last year. They're going to know exactly how each other plays, and Bubble's really been anchoring for this Wars squad. And we're going to check in with them later. Hopefully they can both make it into that end game, because Melvin, Fuzzin, Punigan on that rotation into Outpost, but they have to deal with Patsuka and Stuo on their left.
Yeah, I am getting word too. Hmood's team, our Falcons, have been wiped this map. Not as good as the last, not a back-to-back. Still likely near the top of the leaderboard, if not on top. But this squad, the winners of lower bracket round 2, again, some people say they're the easiest kill on the map. They say they're the best on the map. They shouldn't have been in lower bracket round 2, and a great rotation. They've basically gone on a road trip up the entire west coast of Urzikstan and have made it here, here into the final couple circles. Top 13, unharried all the way onto the helipad building. It's actually a great spot to be in. This Caspian team also in the zone early, but didn't rotate from 5th to 6th zone, or rather 4th to 5th zone early enough, and now getting held out after getting position early.
Yeah, I'm really worried about this squad, because there's just too many teams on this side. You have Team King Shock. You've also got Ilgoy that are going to be around here. Teams floating towards the end, but Caspian throws up the C4s, trying to do some damage. There goes a knock, but we take so much damage in the grand scheme of things. And even the angle comes through. SB, down and out.
No.
How are we going to be able to navigate this? We're not, because there's just too many people to worry about on the cross.
We're just giving Begsy that kill that is wild up on the hill with the Kar 98 and just totally missed him. Looks like a Molotov or a Thermite's going to take out. It is a Thermite on Fado. That is King Chalk, and he made it very clear for our North American friends. King Chalk, that's how you say his name, and if you're saying it any other way, he doesn't want it, all right? I'm looking at you, Pulse Check. But back to the game at hand, King AJ is on a tear. 8 kills. This team likely on about 15 in total, maybe a bit more, potentially about to wipe Huncho's team, just locking down center of zone, about to take top 5. This could be a massive map that likely will secure them nearly a spot to the grand finals already, setting themselves up for success early. This is not surprising, but maybe a bit. If you're a fan of the King AJ team, not all things have been going their way this competition.
I was hoping if that C4 would go their way, just like, whee, they still go so far. I don't care if the throw distance was nerfed 15%. It still goes just enough, but here we are. Freddy, though, down and out. Zang's gonna be last alive for the squad. Let's see if we can hit the res. I'm not sure it's gonna come through, because Melvin, Pentagon, Buzzin are full sending, and Zangs has no cover.
Yeah, that Italian trio out of here. See you later, but still a great map. They did get top 5. Fuzzin out, but still alive with the team. Pentagon, Melvin having to go big yet again, just the two of them, but Well-placed shots and a decent placed thermite. Gonna get a weep, but now Niasen on the cross getting covered. He can't get the full. Shout out to the opposition for giving Pentagon this kill and potentially his life back. Pentagon down low, but who's on the other side is Showstopper. All three alive with position. Melvin, I believe, dies to Gask. So all we have left is a Pentagon. We got a full team of 3. Infernal down below playing the low ground way deep in the gas of the PDS. Pentagon on the edge, and then a full team of 3 on the high ground with King AJ. And the rotation actually pulls right in between everybody. So Pentagon nowhere to go, still third place. A great map. Finally, a 3v3. AJ's on 10, and I can only expect them to win this no problem.
No, they have held very much all control of this zone throughout the prior like 7 minutes, right? They showed such prowess in map number 1. I'm talking, I saw wipes alone from precision airstrikes, and to double down, get so many eliminations in drop number 2, take control of outpost, convert all of those rotations to just cleanup crew, and they came in from lower round 2. They got 5th there, and already are making a staple in the EMEA finals lobby.
Yeah, just a fantastic win, set up early, executed and found kills. Everything went their way in this map. And for those at home that are maybe just tuning in to the EMEA finals, you're like, oh, this isn't expected. That's a really good team. Yeah, we thought so too. They got 26th in upper bracket. They had to make a run in lower bracket round 2 where they got 5th. And then now they're here dominating in the finals. Something is clicking for this team. Quick look back with our last stand view overhead. Frankly, a great wrap here from Pentagon and Melvin. They needed to make the move, and Fuzzin needed to go with them. He thought he was safe. I don't know if he didn't have the comms of where Vision was or just didn't have an angle. I'm not sure. Trying to play Overwatch, but gets punished, forcing Pentagon and Melvin into a 2v3 scenario. A couple 2v3s, frankly. Look how far away, by the way, Infernal is. They are way down low underneath, and they're gonna have to make a huge wrap out of the gutters to get up here to even have a chance at it. They're just playing for placement. So my big question, Tiff, as you called out this AJ squad, is how many kills did this Infernal team have? Will it actually help them to get to top 3?
I hope so, because once you get the top 5, you get that 1.8x. Now, Pentagon is able to do so much damage to Infernal's squad here, and they have no PDSs. They've used their resources. They're very weak. That King AJ, Vision, and Showstopper really came in and cleaned it up at the right amount of time. We saw 1 in double digits yet again. They had 18 eliminations in drop number 1. Now, this is the way to start, because you think back to the squads in the NA finals. After 3 maps, teams that had breached 40 points secured themselves a LAN ticket. And if they were able to go